Barak Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles, Grim Stone Ruel, and to the Akim and the falcons of the earth in this last days and times, witnessing the prophecies of Amashak Yahushai that is spoken to us through his prophets in these last days and times, alright? So you see the EU, man, they always have to implement the agenda of the elites to make sure that people go along with the V19 passports, man. You know, they need to have a pass, proof of documentation. And it just shows you how people that are desperate and willing to go along with a system, you know, how far they're willing to go just to comply. Okay. And, you know, some folks are going to go along, you know, fully, while some folks are just going to do what is necessary for them. Okay. And for the elect's sake, man, you know, you just got to have a proof that you test negative, you know, or proof of recovery. But to have a proof of getting the juice that's unnecessary for the elect. And a lot of people are going to go along with every requirement that the government wants them to stick with, man. So it just shows you folks are just hurdled, you know, into a corner like sheep for the slaughter, okay? So I'm going to read a quick precept from the book of Matthew chapter 16, all right? Because travel is very, very necessary, you know, for people in these last days and times, because you have so much of people being mingled. You have Hamites in Europe, you have Jakes over there, you have Ishmael, you have Elam, you have Moab, you have Ammon, you have Japheth over there, all right? And there's so much, man, so much is going to take for these people to be able to stand up to an oppressive system. But hey, you know how it is. It's just a trial for the elect to wiggle through, okay? So the book of Matthew chapter 16, verse 26 tells you that, you know what, to start from verse 24. Then said Yahweh unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Yes, a lot of people want to go and have a good time, you know, and travel and get some relief and all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but it comes a time where folks just have to let that stuff go, man, because this is not a time of entertainment, of leisure that we're looking for. Let me see, how you say it, of being a tourist, man. The Most High didn't call his servants to be tourists, right? Called us to be prophets, to show forth his glory, all right? And then it says, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me, all right? There's nothing wrong with traveling to fellowship with brothers to do the work of the Lord, you know, to preach the gospel, all right? To observe a high holy day. And then in verse 25 it says, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Yeah, so those are the two extremes, man, that you have to be aware of, man. A lot of people are going to go along with their personal, you know, agenda, and fall into the trap that the elite have set for them, while the men of the Lord are going to stand firm unto the end, man, because, you know, just like the Apostle Peter asked the Lord Hamashak Yahushai, you know, so what's it going to be, you know, for us when we, you know, when we've given up the so-called relationship we go with our family members to delve in 100% with the gospel. The Lord says, you know, in the regeneration, in the world to come, you know, 100-fold, man. That's it. So whatever you're willing to let go of in this present day and time, the Lord will restore unto you even more than what you expected. All right. And then it says, verse 26, for what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So when you go online on these social media, platforms, you see folks, man, that they travel around the world, man, and they always like to put in the descriptions of their so-called pictures, or their bio, fully vaccinated, all that stuff. C19 free and all that. So it just shows you, man, that people will go along with the whole drama just to not miss out. The FOMO, fear of missing out. That's not the mindset that the Lord should have in this world. To partake in the agenda of this world, man. You have to consider the work of the Lord. All right. So Matthew 16:26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? So a lot of people are willing to go along, with the agendas of the EU, agendas of the beast, the agendas of the puppets, governments of this world, to conform, to this treacherous agenda. So that's why, the Lord requires his servants to stand firm. So let me just play this clip real quick, man, and then get some more precepts.
EU citizens can soon start packing their cases with holidays back on the agenda for the summer. After 4 rounds of negotiations, member states have agreed a deal to open up travel. Europeans will be able to apply for a digital COVID certificate or travel pass that will allow them to move freely within the bloc. It will cover anyone who's either vaccinated against COVID-19, has a negative test, or has recently recovered. The certificates will be legally binding and could be in place by the 1st of July if member states can get the necessary infrastructure in place by then.
You are vaccinated in a member state of the European Union, so the health system of your member state will provide you with a certificate. That is the new rule of the game, and that certificate will do.
Yep, and that's what they also want to say, man. Try to convince the people that they've got the infrastructure in place to make sure that they can take care of business, man. Because a lot of people are going to get caught up in this drama. So, I'll read a book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 69. It says that, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision, in reproach, and trodden under foot. Yeah. So the government is going to betray the people that put their trust in them, man, because the government is there to do the will of the elite. All right. So these folks are going to get thrown under the bus that went along with the system of the beast, man, that willingly went along with the image of the beast, and gave up the so-called sovereignty, especially our own people, So, it's just, how you say, man, the house of cards, man. And it's just one big old Jenga puzzle. The piece just get, being pulled apart, and then it's going to collapse. That's why we want our people, man, to be very, very careful of how they conduct themselves in Babylon, because it's a snare, man. You just have to understand what it requires of you to survive in righteousness. And then it says in verse 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. All right. So verse 69 tells you about those that go along the system. They're going to catch the short end of the stick. All right. They're going to be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. All right. And then verse 70 says that those that have the fear of the Lord, there's going to be a turmoil, an insurrection against them. So it just shows you, man, in this society, it's going to be chaos, man, both for those that trust the government of Esau, that put their faith in its rulership, and for those that choose to stand firm in the name of the Lord Hamashiach Yahushai. So at the end of the day, man, it's going to be terrible, man, because the beast, the beast is upset, man. The beast wants total control. And when the folks that go along with the system are crying for sustenance, Yeah, it's gonna be like a an irritation, man, to the beast. So hey, what do you expect? All right. So I'm also gonna read a book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 4. All right, just to keep this short and brief, it says, "And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Hamashiach Yahushua." So when you trust in the Lord, there's a likelihood of you getting your head chopped off, man, for being a witness of Yahushua's gospel, and for the word of the Most High Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their right hands. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach Yahushua 1,000 years. So that's one thing you have to be aware of, man. You know, there's a cost of sticking with the Most High's program and bearing your cross, all right? Because it's not going to be a walk in the park. We're all going to get tested, you know, and the beast is nervous, the beast is desperate, man. So that's why he has to, institute tools of control with these passes. So, just stay tuned, man, for the drama.
That certificate means that you don't have to PCR every week.
Several countries have already begun using digital or paper passes to help ease local lockdowns. After more than a year of travel restrictions, it's officially kicked off its tourism season last week in the hopes of reviving a sector that's been battered by the pandemic.
It's freedom, enjoying life. You really feel much better. You're not in prison anymore. Free, and that really does you good.
Only vaccines approved by the Medicines Agency will be accepted for the pass. That's Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca and Janssen.
See that? So that's why you have to be...
That's Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca.
Yeah, man. So that's the whole agenda. So even though, someone comes up with a better alternative, to get the people healthy, this elite, they don't want that, man. So they want their own approved poison. So that's why we got to put our trust in the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua to get us out of Babylon, man, because it's just chaotic, man. All right? So that's the point that I came up. Our salvation draw nigh. ASAP. Shalom.